There we go. Welcome, welcome everybody here to the Sports Talk Network. Welcome to this channel. Welcome specifically here tonight to WWE Monday Night Raw review. Review for October 16th, 2017. The Raw show that just finished mere moments ago. Now it's time to talk about it. Welcome to everybody that is watching live or archived. Otherwise, welcome to follow me on Twitter at WWE_podcast. And subscribe to this channel. Share the video. Leave a comment in the comment section below, because I'm sure you all have thoughts, feelings, either way, about what happened there at the end of tonight's Monday Night Raw. You know, your ears were not deceiving you. That is Kane's theme. And don't worry, I will change the title of the episode, because I always create these episodes on a Saturday or Sunday over the weekend. I create my list of videos for the whole week, because now I'm pretty much on a schedule almost every single day of the week. With things that I do. But anyways, don't worry, the title of this episode, of this review, will change in time, but I simply had it to be what it is, because the only thing that I thought to have as the title now, how it's different with now Kane coming back. He's now back in WWE, and he's going to be part of the now what's going to be 3-on-5 handicap match with the Shield, and we can just call it Team Miz over there. I mean, since Survivor Series is around the corner. But anyways, wow. Just wow. And I also got to say the the theme song of Kane's, you know, it's the same, technically, the same one he's had forever. But the difference is they kind of kicked it up a notch, 2017 edition, you know, new age style, you know, as much as they could, you know, with the theme that's simple and basic in its own right, but awesome. I could tell right away when it was played, I was like, wow, this sounds a little different. A little harder on the acoustics there, so to speak, or at least more specific in that way. You know, not up the levels there in sound, but you know, musicians know more than that than I do. But I'm just saying, I really liked it. It's really lit, awesome, cool, and indeed cool and awesome in its own right to see Kane back. I didn't know if we ever would see him back, or if he ever would wrestle again. But his wrestling career was over. At least I assume so. He never officially retired yet, with this being the reason, I'm sure. But beyond that, I thought that, you know, him going to politics, running for spot, and doing other things that he spoke as their libertarian, that was going to be his new passion, his new thing, whether he won or not in his race. That as we're going, instead of, you know, coming back, you know, not saying he won't come back to WWE ever again, just not in a wrestling capacity, as an actual corporate guy. As, you know, corporate Glenn Jacobs behind the scenes. You know, not to be confused with the corporate Kane character on television in the past. But Kane being back, maybe setting up a return of the Authority and having a corporate Kane again, that character actually back, would be interesting in its own right as well. But either way, I'm pleasantly surprised to be talking about Kane, one of my favorites during the Attitude Era. And yes, Kane was my favorite. You know, to make it even, you know, you had the new up-tempo theme song, like I said, 2017 edition, you know, new aging it up to this era, this decade, with, like I said, a theme song that is hard to change without actually literally changing it to a whole totally different theme song of its base level simplicity of what Kane's theme song always has been. But I liked how it was. But point being is to have the change and have the difference even more so is have Kane come back in his 1997 to 99 or even longer attire that he had then, to have that back and look how they could have made it look, have him in the suit again. For his final run, because it seems like to be his final run, wrestling-wise, in the company. But I do hope Kane and Glenn Jacobs, after he does actually retire from wrestling, does still work for WWE in any capacity. Whether backstage, whether it's NXT, working one-on-one with Triple H there, and so on and so forth, and with WWE when Triple H is stepping man take over, his own conversation in its own right. You know, the succession plans, the McMahon family and WWE. But specifically with Kane tonight and his return, you know, I've been talking here for the first 10 minutes or 6 minutes or so, however long minutes or so it's been from the opening of this review, talking about Kane, because I'm actually very happy to see Kane back. Whether it is simply nostalgia reasons or whatever reasons, it's just my reasons and how I feel about it, and it's good to see him back. And for however long he's going to be back, certainly going to enjoy it for sure. But back to how things are going and how we were setting up with the Shield reunion, and now they're coming back, and now they're going to face 5 superstars. Man, I don't care if they had 5 men, 6 men, 10 men, every single member of the Monday Night roster, the men's division. The Shield's going to win on Sunday. They could have had what Stephen A was talking about on Twitter, and you can follow him on Twitter at StephenA1181. He was talking about he's saying that Samoa Joe was going to be the 5th member of this, stuff like that for the match. I was hoping for Curtis Axel himself, and then what happened during the show happened. That's dealing with Curtis Axel himself. What else isn't there? The family matter, along with Bray Wyatt, which is why Bray Wyatt didn't even do a pre-taped thing for his feud with Finn Balor. They're having their match at TLC, which I will talk about here shortly. But at least for me, at least for my review, different from other YouTubers, will be about Kane, and it will be about Kane in a positive way. Not everybody's a fan of Kane. Heck, there are people that aren't even fans of him back in the Attitude Era. Those that grew up with him, or even those, as much as I always say, those that grew up then, those that, this and that. You can even be a high schooler now, a WWE fan now, here in 2017, and still know and have seen matches of Kane. You didn't have to live it through it as a kid yourself, or in general, then in that era, to understand how good or bad, in your opinion, personal opinion, not everybody's gonna like the superstars you like, right? So the same things with me here, with anybody else. But point being is, with the WWE Network, anybody, any age, one's older than me, younger than me, same age as me, they did grow up in the Attitude Era, but forgot about Kane maybe a little bit because they, don't really have anything going on in life from being a wrestling fan. Point being is that they know of that Kane. Now, here in 2017, and the renditions and iterations of the Kane that we've seen in the past couple of years is not the same old Kane that I grew to love and enjoy in the Attitude Era. Here in the PG era, just say WWE era, because in the past it was World Wrestling Federation, but in the WWE era, the corporateness and stockholders and all the other stuff, and having to go PG and being that way, still Kane is interesting and entertaining to me. Again, not to everybody. So for me, and I don't know, hopefully I'm not the only YouTuber, not the only person on Twitter, not the only whatever, not only WWE fan that's talking about Kane's return in a positive way. But I'm sure there are ones on Twitter, YouTube, whether maybe, I don't know, BC Amplify, JD from NY, maybe they'll have strong opinions in the negative column of why did they drag Kane's old ass back in WWE? And that's their opinion, and they're entitled to it, and I respect it. But I also respectfully, strongly disagree. It's good to have Kane back in any role, and let alone having Kane back in a match with the Shield. Kane's had a past with the Shield. But then again, in that same right, does that mean everybody they've had a past with in the past, or had a feud with, or interaction with in the past, doesn't that mean they're going to be facing them here in the future? That doesn't automatically mean that, but my point being is that with Kane having that history, Kane being back now, being part of this big match, the Return of the Shield, their first match back since 2014. I do say believe they said that was one of those where they broke up there in Indianapolis, Indiana. I don't know. It's just cool to me to have Kane back. And I'm looking forward to seeing him in what probably will be the main event match at TLC. Because last time I checked, there isn't a WWE Universal Championship match at TLC. Because our WWE Universal Champion is Brock Lesnar. Again, that's a whole separate subject of champion, and that specific champion not defending the title, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And Brock Lesnar. But With that being the case, this match will be, as it should be, will be the main event of TLC on Sunday on WWE Network. I look forward to seeing Kane a part of it. Look forward to seeing him back. But again, it's simply the reasons of nostalgia or how awesome I enjoyed the new theme and how it was comes up in 2017 edition, or modernized, I guess the word is, as much as that theme could be. But either way, whatever my silly, real, or super serious reasons of my looking forward to it, I still am going to look forward to. I'm looking forward to the whole entire match, all the superstars involved, of course, the Shield reforming, but now the added intrigue of having Kane part of it. But having Kane part of it does not change my early prediction, like my prediction when this whole thing was said the Shield 2 return to have the first match at TLC, back when it was a rumor. Back when we didn't know when the Shield was going to reunite and how we all go down and all the other stuff and what the first feud would be and this and that. Before things actually started to set in place, puzzle pieces fitting together. You have the Shield win their first match. You just do. But you still make superstars on the other side look strong. And having 5 superstars on the other side in the now going to be 3 and 5 handicap match, you still can have them looking very strong. And in particular, Braun Strowman and Kane. Remember when Big Show and Kane were a tag team for a short time? At least I think they were. Then you had the Brothers of Destruction, Kane and Undertaker, and the awesome superstars together in the past. So, as much as it probably won't happen, why not have Kane and Braun Strowman as a tag team? And especially since they're all interacting with the Shield, you can have the next opponents to go up against Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins for the Raw Tag Team Championships being Kane and Braun Strowman. From a little foe, you can believe they would win. We would be able to book it and make you think and question and wonder, Dean and Seth could actually lose this. Would it probably happen? No, but still. It'd be a good match, good build. Make some fans think, maybe they could lose. But either way, I think that would be very interesting. Very interesting to see them as a tag team for and not even just being a tag team in general. It's just them being together. If in this new, and you have a faction, the Miz is talking about with Miz Taraj, The Bar, Braun Strowman, and now Kane. It's like having the Authority, Miz at the helm, but obviously not called the Authority. Which then, to most WWE fans, they would be interested in it more, enjoy it more, because they enjoy the Miz and how good he is as a heel, even though Triple H is pretty dang good himself. So Stephanie McMahon, one of the best in WWE that she is, whether you can't stand her or not. I hope we all can agree on that. If we don't, I respect that. But yeah, they have the Authority-like stable. Without it being called that, with the Miz at the helm and with the superstars we have casted in their parts and in their roles. And now we have the Shield reform being the superheroes, being the ones trying to take down this new team of superstars. Again, Miz at the helm, the ring leader. But wow, Kane is back. And I'm happy that is so. Welcome to let me know if you are watching live in the live chat. Obviously, if you're watching this when this is uploaded to the channel, or as I always say, when it's archived, as I call it. Well, let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on Kane and his return. Now, don't worry, I'll talk about the rest of Monday Night Raw, and if you don't want to hear all this thing about Kane, skip all the way to the time slot I actually talk about other things. But it's going to be the main story for me and other YouTubers. We'll have it either in our thumbnails or in the title of the video. And people that are more creative in their titles and videos and thumbnails than I am. But we will. Like I said, I'll change the title of the video. Right now, it's simply Emma is to face Asuka TLC event. Because again, I create all my Google Hangouts for the whole entire week, either on late Saturday night or Sunday afternoon while I'm watching NFL football on Sunday. So either late Saturday night after the college games are done or Sunday during NFL games, especially if the Packers are playing later. Point being is that's when I do it. So that's why I have this title being what it is, and I already have the SmackDown Live review titled the way it is. And I'm sure that's going to change with what was promoted tonight for SmackDown Live having to do with Jinder Mahal. And I'll just leave it at that. If you guys already know what that is, cool. If you don't, you'll find out shortly or already know because you watched Raw. But gosh darn, this Monday Night Raw was good. If I voted my own Raw Insta poll, which is now up on Twitter, again, you can follow me at WWE_podcast. If I voted my own Raw Insta poll, I would say it was great. And maybe I have blinders on. Maybe I'm a WWE fanboy. Maybe I'm nostalgic, crazy for Kane and all that stuff that people would say. Maybe I am. I don't shame from it. I don't hide from it. It's obviously glaring as I've been talking and fanboying away over Kane so much here in this review already, and haven't even talked yet about the rest of Raw, which again said overall the Raw show pretty much was good, and then what happened in the end made it great. Trust me, if I was on camera, if I actually had a camera, microphone, all this other stuff, better visuals, audio, all that other jazz, all you great people, whether you're watching live or otherwise, would be seeing my joy and excitement of me talking about Kane. You'll probably would even see it more than I'm actually realizing I'm showing it, because people can pick up on those things, facial cues and otherwise. Eyebrow raisers, eyes dilating differently, there's other stuff that are ticks and tells in a person. If they're really excited about what they're talking about, or they're just saying it to say it, or just, isn't real or is real. Some people are so good at that, they don't need lie detectors or other things for that. They can just look at the person, whether in face-to-face or in YouTube videos. Point being is, that's what you're seeing, my excitement and happiness for Kane being back. Because it is in its own right a glorious thing to me, this WWE fan, Stevie K here. I'll talk about it over on Talking WWE with Jay on Thursday. I'm sure of this, I'm sure. Again, Talking WWE with Jay. Check out that YouTube channel. I'm sure at some point when I'm on Mounty's Corner, I'm talking there. Or WWE Wrestling, and any other channels of weird people that I have collabed with in the past and plan to in the future. Talk about Kane, this and that. But right here on my own channel, on my own review shows, and again, I'm sure I'll talk about it on Thursday, Steve's Wrestling Ramble, the prediction episode for TLC with my team and others. I'll talk about it again. But either way, what a night! Wow, just wow. I mean, part of me wishes I had more people watching live because they'd be seeing and hearing all this stuff live, and they'd be giving their thoughts, whether they agree or disagree, or telling me to shut up and move on, which is fine. Hey. I would actually chuckle at that than be sad or mad about that. I get it. I've been talking about Kane for probably 15 minutes or so. Just checking here, seeing my Insta poll, seeing what the votes are here live. I just posted right before I went live with this review episode for Monday Night Raw. I don't know. I just still can't believe it. Already I have 6 votes, 23 hours left in the Raw Insta poll. My question simply was, what was your thoughts of how Raw went tonight? That did have the return of Kane at the end. Retweet to share if care. 67% say great, 17% say good, 0% say it was okay, 16% say terrible. So 67 great, 17 good, 0 for okay, and 16 for terrible, percentage for that. So far, great is leading out so far here out of the gate, 6 votes. I'll go back to it before I go off the air, and obviously I will bring up the final tally on Thursday when we go over the Raw reviews for my teammates, to them to share on the podcast there, as I always do. When we're talking about Kane so much, I don't even want to talk about the rest of Raw, even though the rest of Raw was still good in my eyes. I look forward now, seeing other people's not only reaction to Kane's return, because I'm sure people have reaction videos, but also reactions of my thoughts on Kane's return here in my beginning. Wow. Wow. I just can't believe he's back. I can't believe Son Jones back. Good to have you back, Kane. And I mean that sincerely. Yep. Okay, now I'll shut up about Kane, I guess, and move on and talk about Monday Night Raw, because there was actually a show that and even though it ended with Kane, that being the biggest thing, being the buzzword, the thing people have been as their titles and their main thing that they'll talk about, or some will wait till all the way to the end because they can actually tease something better than I can with the show, or at least actually teasing it and then talk about it for minutes and minutes on end, like I just did, but waiting for the end. I wanted to do it here in the beginning because I had a feeling that if I try to go through the show, talk about other things, by the time I got to the main event segment, I would forget half the things that I was going to say about Kane. Whether that was a good thing or bad thing about forgetting some of the things I was going to say that I did say actually on air here so far in the episode, that I wanted to do it right off the bat. So there you go. Anyways, let's go all the way back. Time travel back to the start of the show. Hurt Angle starts off the show promoting, hyping up WWE TLC pay-per-view that will be coming on Sunday night, that event on the WWE Network, and then the Shield come back, and not come back, but the Shield arrive. And with the Shield theme song and their Shield Ryan gear, that was pretty awesome to see. It was. Now, it was also interesting that then when you had the tag team title match, Seth and Dean came to their individual theme songs. So that was kind of weird. I only say it's kind of weird because it was a tag team match, and with them as a tag team, would there still be the Shield? Now, if they're one-on-one with somebody, unless with unless with the rest of the team, then you can still have their individual themes. Because you're not going to throw that away. We're talking, CFO or whoever does the music then or now and whatever took time in to make that. WWE did it themselves too with CFO. Dean Ambrose theme, Seth Rollins theme, Roman Reigns, he kept the Shield theme, just changed it a little bit for him and took out the Sierra Hotel India Echo Lima Delta Shield part of it, of course, obviously. So I don't have an issue with that. I just thought that was interesting and weird with them as a tag team not coming to the Shield theme, since they did at the start of the show. That got a huge pop innovation, as it should have, because I was wondering if they were going to save that actually to happen, gosh darn it, at the pay-per-view at TLC and save it for then and then. I didn't get the big ovation pop then. But hey, they do it now, they do it then. In the end, I shouldn't really care. That's just me nitpicking, I guess, in that, and also nitpicking on the whole tag team, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins coming out there. Still in the Riot Gear stuff, which is awesome, but still coming to their individual themes for a tag team match. But hey, I'll get over it because I do enjoy Seth's theme. I do enjoy Dean Ambrose's theme. Dean Ambrose is my boy. Been a big fan of his. Maybe not from the jump. His times way back in the early years when he was in WWE. But it really is now. But anyways, the Shield come out there addressing the match. Dean Ambrose saying, hey, face anybody. 4 guys, 5 guys, 1 million guys, 10 billion guys. He didn't say that specifically, but you know what I mean? He's has always been the chairbox of the Shield and the group, at least in that way, whether coherently or otherwise. But it's kind of cool to have them come out with the Shield team, being the Shield Riot gear. I mean, Reigns, who's pretty much adapted the Shield stuff after the breakup and still was coming out with the flap jacket for a little bit until they changed it up a little bit there in his attire, let alone changing up the theme for him and him keeping it. He didn't look too much different, but obviously have seen Dean and Seth back in that Shield attire was certainly interesting, to say the least. But still a great way to start the Raw. And now we have the match to look forward to at TLC. Moving right along, we have Jason Jordan, Titus O'Neil, and Apollo Crews defeating Elias. No longer Elias Sampson, because, we can't have somewhat full names. You can't have first and last names in WWE anymore, unless... Well, actually, that's not even... I was going to say unless you're certain people. It's not even that. It's just unless WWE feels you should have. I don't know. Either way, Elias. If he's Elias, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson, not too much to say about there. Good for Jordan to get a win, and technically Titus O'Neil did too, right? But yeah, good for all three of them. Technically, Jason George, Titus O'Neil, and Apollo Crews. But not too bad of a match, but not too much to say about it. And there's the same thing, not too much to say about the cruiserweight match between Cedric Alexander defeating Gentleman Jack and Gallagher. I'm not saying it wasn't interesting or entertaining, it just wasn't, I don't know, just didn't do it for me. Braun Strowman on Miss TV, Kurt Angle coming out there kind of in his face and saying that if Braun Strowman defeats Roman Reigns in the main event match, the cage match, that then they get to add a fifth member. If Roman Reigns now, though, defeats Braun Strowman, then it goes back to 3-on-3. The Miz and the Bar facing the Shield. Moving right along with Sasha Banks defeating Alexa Bliss, and we're going to have this match in the kickoff. So since Sasha Banks defeats Alexa Bliss here on the Raw before, this go-home show to WWE TLC and Sunday WWE Network. And then we're going to have the match in the kickoff show where Sasha once got squashed by Nia Jax, which doesn't make sense because Nia Jax is a beast and this and that. And they're building her to be that way. But now it's with Alicia Fox, who is still a great athlete. Beautiful in that round. But the point being is different from what Nia Jax is going to be, different level in that way of the quote-unquote food chain and Raw women's division. Point being is, though, with having Sasha Banks win tonight, my opinion, or my thought, probably what's going to be happening on Sunday is Alicia Fox defeating Sasha Banks. No, I'm sure BC Amplified and many other Sasha Banks fans aren't going to be too happy to hear that. But there you go. Sasha Banks got the win on Raw here tonight in the go-home show. But that not automatically means she's going to be getting the win on Sunday at TLC. You know, we always think in reverse booking when we have go-home shows, 2 pay-per-view matches, whether women's division or women's wrestling or in the men's division. Either way, we always go, you know, how did things go in the go-home show? How did everything play out? Who was the one standing tall and said, you know, promos, matches, and otherwise, and interactions in those feuds? Then that must mean they're going the opposite way in about 80% of the chains, or 80% of that, or 90% we would say, that is the case, and that's how it goes. And if we keep on that, and knowing that that's usually how things go, then we can assume in that same logic that then Alicia Fox will defeat Sasha Banks on Sunday in the pre-show, which starts at 6 p.m. Central, you know, goes for an hour, this and that. I could care less about them talking and this and that. I usually put it on mute, but then when the match starts, whatever match it be, I watch the entrances, the match itself, all that other stuff. But hey, maybe it could be different. I mean, it is Sasha Banks, unless you think that would be the case. But still can't go against what the odds are, right? And also, no one's above WWE, so John Cena's not. Sasha Banks sure as heck is. You all know my opinion on Sasha Banks and how I talk about sometimes she is the John Cena of the women's division, or has become that. Sometimes seems that way. Not saying she's not talented, it's just, I don't know, the way she's placed and all the other stuff. But I still respect her. And I'm so surprised that after being maybe so long now, she's going to be having this, whether feud or splash or whatever, with Alicia Fox. And if she's going to lose on Sunday, where is that going to be taken? Or simply, it could just be what it is going to be for Sasha Banks of just being in these kind of matches, because you have to wait to start something, having her back in the title picture, because that won't be happening until after Royal Rumble at the earliest, because then on the road to WrestleMania, or as I called it when I was younger, Grapplemania, but WrestleMania. And I'm sure Sasha Banks fans realize that too. If they don't, then they don't. But if they do, then they're smarter than the average bear and they know what's up. As our truth would say, they know what's up. Or, you know, at least my interpretation and my opinion of what's up. I mean, different from others. It just seems that that's the way it's going to be. And if that's what's going to be between now and Royal Rumble, you have to have something else for Sasha Banks, because you're not going to have Sasha Banks on the card at all, because then you're really going to get the Sasha Banks fans mad and upset and kind of pissed off, which is understandable. I mean, I'm a fan of Alexa Bliss, Carmella. I've been pushing about Summer Rae coming back and getting a shot if she actually would want to. She can make a good women's champion, SmackDown Live or Raw. And hey, for those rolling your eyes and laughing about me saying that, Jinder Mahal, that's all I need to say. Marty Maharaja, okay? Boom. Checkmate. But either way, that being the case, see, like, talking specifically to having to do with Sasha Banks, I do believe it's going to be interesting to see how things go moving forward for her and what kind of feuds they have her in. All the way into Royal Rumble, and what's then probably going to be Bayley versus Sasha Banks. And if not specifically just Bayley versus Sasha Banks, because maybe they don't have enough faith in Bayley more so than not having faith in Sasha Banks, then what probably will happen, then it'll be maybe even a fatal four-way. And you guys know how I enjoy fatal four-ways, triple threats, and multi-superstar matches. And trust me, just in case you didn't know, and this is your first video you're watching here on this channel, I love them. I like them, I love them, and I want some more of them. Then again, wasn't there a pay-per-view that surrounded all multi-superstar matches? Huh. Yeah, there was. It was actually called Fatal 4-Way. There was a pay-per-view in WWE called Fatal 4-Way. And it's odd because when I was younger and that pay-per-view existed, because it feels like it existed 10 years ago, but I'm sure it's less than that because I'm never correct in that thinking. But anyways, Fatal 4-Way. But back then, I didn't actually like multi-superstar matches. I didn't hate them, but whatever. Wasn't that much of a fan of them. I enjoyed one-on-one matches. That's what championship matches should be, or matches, period. But now as I'm older, as a grown-ass man, almost 30, well, we'll be next April, 2018, I'm different. I enjoy multi-superstar matches and would love to have, or maybe not love, but wouldn't mind having that pay-per-view return, Fatal 4-Way, whether even it comes back once. And every single match, whether a title match or not, being a Fatal 4-Way or more. Six-pack challenge, here we come. Hey, pay-per-view name, six-pack challenge. Now, if we can have a pay-per-view name called Great Balls of Fire, we can have six-pack challenge. Since we like to give pay-per-view names with the gimmicks anyways, to have six-pack challenge. But anyways, getting a little off topic, they're rambling. Point being, Sasha Banks, Alicia Fox should be interesting, but this is just WWE trying to have something for Sasha Banks, so she's not on. So it's not like she's not on the card at all, and getting their Twitter messages blowing up from Sasha Banks fans being like, "Why isn't Sasha on the show?" Okay, she's on the show. Be happy, but guess what? She's going to be taking the L. But don't worry, she'll be getting W soon, and maybe even at WrestleMania, your girl Sasha Banks will be getting the Raw Women's Championship. But then again, is that really going to be the case? Because now we have Asuka on Raw, not on SmackDown Live, but on Monday Night Raw. And she's going to be buzzed on through the division. Alexa Bliss has been holding it down awesomely. Just as much as she did on SmackDown Live. And I remember when she won the championship on SmackDown Live from Becky Lynch, who was the inaugural SmackDown Live Women's Champion. I was kind of surprised. That was oh my gosh, I got the prediction wrong. How is this going to go? Becky should get this title back, or she should have lost it. I had all those thoughts. And that's me being honest at the time. But as the champion and how she was as a SmackDown Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's Champion, grown to like her more and more. That's what I said. Alexa Bliss and Carmella being my 1 and 2 in that way. So I'm going to raise my number 1 in the other way, so to speak. But women's fight is going to get even better. With Asuka coming to Monday Night Raw at the pay-per-view event. Now, obviously, Asuka is not going to be getting involved in this match. She has her own match anyways against Emma. Let's think of Asuka actually faced Emma Lena. Yeah, good thing they didn't stick with that. But anyways, Emma, to be her first match on TLC, It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting for sure. She's gonna want to get the win. That's obvious. But it's still gonna be interesting because Emma being the card. And even more so as I just realized as I'm talking here in this raw review, the pay-per-view has 3 women's matches. Yep. Uno, dos, tres. Pre-show match. Asuka debuting on Raw first match, period, but at the pay-per-view. Then I'm sure she'll have her first ever match on Raw. You gotta promote it like that because A, it's true, and B, just how WWE does. And then you have the championship match. Mickie James versus the lovely and highly talented Alexa Bliss, who is the current Raw Women's Champion. So 3 women's matches. So you can have 3 women's matches on a TLC pay-per-view. A TLC pay-per-view that someone's going to be average pay-per-view, but it's going to be a quality. Like I've been saying, WWE, care about your other pay-per-views, not just your main 5, or even to me, main 6. Because I would call it the 6th pay-per-view to be part of the main 6 of WWE pay-per-views. Being Night of Champions / Clash of Champions, whatever they want to name it this year or future years. Stick with one, move forward. But either way, that one's been slowly growing on me. But care about the other ones, and even the gimmick pay-per-views, like Hell in the Cell, like TLC. Sure you care. And I'm sure they always do care, and they seem to, but some seems like times that they don't book them that way, and seems like they're booked lazily. Because they're just waiting to get over the hump to be on the road to a Survivor Series or a Royal Rumble or this and that, and blah, 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 blah. But TLC is looking like it's going to be a good card from bottom to top. Wow, I was rambling about Kane for so long. Now I'm rambling and giving my opinions on the Raw Women's Division and everything, or just Women's Division overall. And that's sparking off simply the Sasha Banks Alexa Bliss, or Alicia Fox match. I'm sorry. Alicia Fox match that I didn't really have much to say actually about the match in itself. More so on TLC, and there go from there. But there go, I may move on here. Talking about Monday Night Raw, WWE Cruiserweight Champion Kalisto confronted Enzo Amore. Yeah, I also forgot to say when Braun Strowman was on Miz TV, he had a little mess up. I mean, it happens. I mean, they're a lot better than I would be on camera, mumbling, or at least on WWE television, millions of people watching. Even if the ratings are down, it's still millions of people watching. And he he said the Shield putting him through the announcing table, not announcers, but at the announcing table. All right, whatever. I'm not going to question him. It's Braun Strowman. Now Kalisto, the one who messed up back when he was at this match live talking about doing lucha things, kind of messed up here, whether intentionally or not. When he was talking to Enzo Amore after Enzo, shouldn't have. When Kalisto was confronting him, Kalisto said, sorry, it's not funny, but I'm just saying. On Sunday at TLC, I'm going to be the new Cruiserweight champion. And I'm like, bro. I'm just looking at my TV. I'm like, bro, do you not see what you're wearing? Do you not feel that on your body? Right? You are the Cruiserweight champion right now. You can feel that on you, right? Maybe it's a little tight, or not tight enough, or too loose. But I don't know. Do you feel that you have the Cruiserweight championship? Come on, bro. I like Kalisto. I do. And I'm glad he's in the Cruiserweight division to champion, as I already said last week. Last week on Raw Review and Wrestling Ramble. But that was kind of funny and weird. I'm like, dang it. Now people on Twitter are really going to have at it because they'll go back to the whole lucha thing and then talking about, hey, messed up again, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, I thought it was more funny than being upset that he messed up. It was just, you already are the Cruiserweight champion, buddy. Unless that was an oopsie that obviously they would know how things are going to go at TLC. Enzo's going to probably win it. Then he's probably going to be winning it back at some point. I mean, Kalisto meaning. It'll go be back and forth between those two because technically the rest of the division can't touch Enzo as long as he's champion. Meaning now the Kalisto champion, technically, when they want him to successfully defend, so they can go after him. Because as long as Enzo is the champion, whether he wins it back now or if he kept it in the first place. We did face Kalisto in a lumberjack match, which again was really supposed to be Neville and was supposed to retain. Well, there. So maybe, even though he didn't mess up tonight, technically after Sunday night, we'll be going, oh, maybe he just got ahead of himself because Enzo Mori, maybe by the end of the night on Sunday, will be the new Cruiserweight champion, and then Kalisto trying to win it back from there. But at that moment, I was like, bro, come on, man. You're wearing the title. I'm sure you can feel it underneath all the stuff you're wearing, which is still looking awesome. I don't know. It was certainly interesting, to say the least. And this is a pretty good review. I mean, I'm still in the middle of my own show, and I'm giving my thoughts on it. Hopefully, you guys do share this video for those who ever watch it. And I appreciate that. Because, I'm pretty good singers here. But moving right along, here talking about Monday Night Raw, if I can to that. The Raw Tag Team Champions, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, successfully defending against Cesaro and Sheamus. Probably did this because they are having the Shield versus Team Miz, I've been calling it now, dubbing it that way, at TLC on Sunday. Actually have them defending the tag team titles, since they probably won't be doing it on Sunday. Right there now tonight on Monday Night Raw on the Cole Show. So I guess pretty much them, good for them, and moving right along, right? But okay, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, hold the titles for as long as you want. Then we have Finn Balor addressing Bray Wyatt, and like I said, he was on the show. You have Finn Balor doing the whole run thing like Bray Wyatt does, and they had the CGI thing of him with the face paint, but with Halloween colors, like a jack-o'-lantern, as someone said on Twitter. Which was a funny comment, and then I responded saying, okay, well, we're going to have that. Let's have Halloween Havoc back. I really want that pay-per-view back here in the month of October. But beyond that, just little moment at the end and the run, promo was right. It be what it be, I guess. Then we have the main event. Braun Strowman defeating Roman Reigns, Kane returns, and all the other awesomeness that I, expounded upon in the beginning of this review. So if you're joining here live later on, you have to wait until it uploads and hear me talking around about discussion about Kane being back in WWE. But I do thank everybody that was here live, whether you did leave a comment in the live chat or like the video, and those that will be watching our coverage otherwise. Excuse me, sorry about that. I'll be back tomorrow night for my SmackDown live review, which will be interesting. Like I said, with Jinder Mahal, going to have a challenge thing for Survivor Series. Will it be what we think, or will it be something different? Who knows? But we all do care. Whether you care a lot or care a little, you technically care. You do. It's true. It's true. But anyways, thanks everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll be back again, like I said, tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern, SmackDown Live review. You guys have been great and awesome. Let me know what you think of my reviews or this one specifically, either in the comment section or on Twitter. I'd like to hear feedback, positive or negative, even whether you have harsh suggestions or criticisms of how I do my shows. That's fine too. Man, I take it on Renaissance and I listen. I for sure listen and I do reply. So look forward to seeing that if I do at all. But again, enjoy the rest of your evening. And as always, take care.